For the second Sunday of Advent, we speak of peace, for hope, peace, joy, and love. In this week's passage of Scripture, we hear, "The wolf shall live with the lamb, the leopard shall lie down with the kid, the calf and the lion and the fatling together, and a little child shall lead them. They will not hurt or destroy on all my holy mountain, for the earth will be full of the knowledge of God as the waters cover the sea." This poetic vision is a world where wolves and lambs, lions and calves, predator and prey come together in peace. A poetic vision commonly called the Peaceable Kingdom. I find it interesting that I didn't find this passage in any of the children's Bibles I looked in, even though it's a really rich image, something that kids find interesting to imagine. A good conversation point about predator and prey. And what would a peaceable kingdom look like to a child? Perhaps this. I live with a preschooler, and when I heard Peaceable Kingdom, I actually thought about this, which I've been seeing in my living room all week. The castle of many animals. In my child's imagination, they all live here, clearly in harmony. They seem to be getting along. They often migrate through the house, but in this occasion, they came back and all gathered in the castle. Bison and octopus, wolf cub, leopard, elephant, baby giraffe, orca and chameleon, kudu and moose, rhino, so many animals, all living here together. Some are even having a sleepover. My child knows about predators and prey and food webs and habitats, but in his mind, all of the animals together is still a good thing, representing diverse and wonderful creation, and it's a lot of fun to play with. I wonder what God's vision of a peaceable kingdom might be. In the devotional that we selected this Advent, the Dawn Chorus, on the wonders of birds, imagining us all as part of a dawn chorus, welcoming God. It talks about God's vision perhaps as being one of inviting us to see about cooperation in the earth. That we interpret the natural world in terms of predatory competition, but that Isaiah's poetry invites us to look again and notice the various ways that creation, even now, also includes cooperation and teamwork. During Advent, we're encouraged to stay alert and watch for signs of God's peace poetically breaking into the world. And how can we be part of that? It gives some examples of the nesting behavior of Western bluebirds, that bluebird couples will actually cooperate intergenerationally to assist each other in the difficult work of raising a new clutch of eggs. And what do we speak about when we imagine peace on earth in this peaceable kingdom to come? I've had this banner for many years. I purchased it at a shop that was selling fabric for gift wrapping, a reusable way of celebrating the season. And this and a forested banner caught my eye. I recognized the lion and the lamb. I love the peace on earth, goodwill to all message. And I liked the inclusion of the forested animals that I'm familiar with too. I hang it every year, and my child absolutely adores it. It was one of his favorite things from an early age. So much so that when I found a couple extra ones, we had them all over when he was a baby, because he would just gaze at it. It makes me think about that peaceable kingdom that we're told about, that sense of peace breaking through, a moment of stillness and hope, represented by a baby, someone that we could all relate to, that we could all love, a baby coming in difficult circumstances. It makes me think too about that stillness and the circumstances we think might be required for peace, how we might be mistaken about it. I learned in university about a concept called Pax Romana, the idea that actually the Roman legions and military might, the fortifications and the stability allowed for peace to function in a society for a couple of centuries that happened to span what we believe to be the time of Jesus' birth. Some poets, in fact, would talk about Pax Romana kind of as if Jesus' birth itself was this mystical moment of the whole world standing still. And certainly we hear that in a lot of our hymns and carols. But what do we really need for peace on earth, goodwill to all? It seems like what we need is God's help, but also our actions, time for contemplation, thinking about what really counts, and setting aside the sort of differences that we think can't be reconciled. But surely if God's vision of peaceable kingdom allows for lion and lamb to lie beside each other, then we can also make room in our hearts for peace. Our question from our devotional is, what way have we cooperated this week? What are we good at in terms of peacemaking? And what do we want to improve? So as we think about this peaceable kingdom, let's consider how we're going to help bring this forward this day and every day. Peace on earth.